Yeah, still. I can see what he's doing for program in the. Yeah, he's working on it. Okay. No, he's still got 3/4 covered with scoreboard 5 and all of that.
The first drawer is a Red Devils supporters jersey. Second drawer, next home game, double pass.
No, can't turn it, but it's not. I can just see another small window popping in here, so you're having a windowing issue.
So if you feel like winning some money tonight, $2 a single ticket, $5 for 3, and that's for the game day raffle 50/50.
Dave, be careful with 3. If you look at it, it's got some fog.
They almost got it.
They almost spelled my name right. Hey, Dave, tell him I have a V in my name. You misspelled my name. It's all right, he doesn't have to be in there. You can drop the graphic. I just can't hear Ashley, just FYI. Got the drifts going today. Dave, you want to let the camera guys know that there's some white balance issues on 1 and 2.
Yeah. Matt, you're a little low in my headset. I'd like, if If you can go up a bit, all right.
I'll get louder.
Yeah,
I'm trying to be a little low. Trying to save the pipes.
Defense number 8, Sean Brown. Right defense number 7, Dan Nichols.
We still don't have a lineup.
Left wing number 10, Jackson Montaigne. Right wing number 94, Jacob Perry.
What did I say? 39 starter.
Yes.
Number 93, Aiden.
Can you yell at that guy?
That guy.
Any of them standing there.
Hey! I'm trying to get this.
Line up those guys. Hey, I got.
You got him? Hey, can we get a lineup card for Queenstown? We don't have one. We need a lineup on. Yeah, for them. Hey.
I can't hear him. What? Okay.
Okay.
It's saying they have them? Okay. Dave, did you guys get a lineup for Queenstown? We need one of those up here. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. I need the one for the other team. There you go.
Cheers, buddy. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave. That makes so much more sense. If that's them, there we go. underway here with the puck flying around in front of their goal. Good first quick save. And in goal today, we've got, see, for the Devils, that is, we just had that here.
Daniel Reason
That's Daniel
starting.
Reason starting for the veteran starter for the Devils. And the team in yellow gets underway with a long shot in. McCart chasing it down. And we're sorry for a few technical get-ups on the start, but we're trying to get our sea legs here with a new crew. So hopefully you're joining us here. Tappan's got it and moves it out of the zone into neutral ice, and it's turned over. Devils with a 2-on-2 shot in. Good defense by the Stampede, but that was Justin Seisho held up just a little bit. And back out to neutral, but the Devils continue to control. Hopkins in on that. Goes back out, Pervers on, and goes by him. They set up, two in the back, line change for the team in yellow. And off go the Devils into their offensive zone. That comes out, that's offside, so they're gonna have to reset. Stampede knock it out to neutral. And brought back in. See, that was Matt Graham. I had the number wrong on that. Graham with a good shift. Carson Pratt sends it across through the slot, but nobody home. And then a strange deflection goes right on by Reason. No harm, no foul. Then a shot in, almost a one-timer getting through, but good defense by the Devils. And Reason puts his pads all over that one to get a face-off. A very quick and energetic first 2 minutes, Alex.
Lightning start to the 2022 season here for the Devils. Right off the bat, back into it. They look like they've got their legs under them early. I'd like to see a little more possession being played, but you know, we're 2 minutes into the first game of the season. They'll warm into it.
Face off in the far side here in the Devils zone. They win that, goes out to neutral. Stampede set up a turnover, and then the Devils dump and look to play a chase on this one. No change coming. Stampede control it. Harrison had it for just a minute, then it goes in off sides, flipped around. Did it hit the net? No, it didn't, so the play continues into the defensive side behind Reason's cage, and the Devils look to get it out much better than all of last year. Too many times, Alex, where we saw it was tough to get it out of the back third.
Yeah, that's Chris Eden already, just giving it up to Orr to get a little nice break there. We want to see more of that from the Devils. That's been their problem the last 2-3 years. Just haven't been able to move it up quickly enough. So that's a positive sign early.
Yeah. Two out of the zone, too quick, and no easy turnovers to start with. Positive signs for the Devils. Face off on the near defensive zone. Freer had it for just a minute. Lachlan with another shove, grabs the puck off of his defender, but then sends it to nobody. And the Devils 3-on-3, get it out of the zone again, get it to neutral. Chris Eden bringing it up the left side as he always does. Sends it over to Orr, doesn't quite get to Orr, ends up on net, bounces around, goes out to neutral.
Eden all-line looking pretty good already first up.
And Apps holding on to it on that right side. The captain looking for a change for himself, and another good nifty move to get it out of the defensive end. They bring that up, and a deflection immediately on net.
Great feed from Jacob Carey.
Jacob Carey joining us for one more weekend. He's over from the States, plays his hockey in Michigan, and schedule a little bit off this year, so he's only available for a weekend, but looking for big things from him this weekend. Not touched at neutral by Carson Pratt to save a 6 men on the ice penalty, and played around after a quick slap, misses the net. Held in and defended well. That's going to go all the way back and get to the goaltender.
Oh.
Turned over quickly, but played back out to neutral. And here comes that same line again. They're onside, but looking for positional play are the Devils. And it pays off by making them go back around. The puck does get out to neutral, and they reset. But the offense is humming along for the first few minutes here in Christchurch.
Jacob Curry was all over the ice in that shift. He just got off right now, but man, he had a strong one.
Carson Pratt's slap shot was denied, and some work in the defensive end again. Passed out, and back and forth we go in neutral. Gain the line, then back out again. A good check by the Devils player getting in on the blue line there. Still a few numbers and things changed around, so I'm catching my sea legs as well. I'm sure Alex is. Luckily he's spotting much better than I am. And the action back and forth, 2 line changes, both teams getting some fresh legs. Puck goes in behind the net for the Devils. They try to sweep it out, and it does go, despite one of the Stampede players trying to hold it in. Reason knocks it down with his glove, passes it off, and no stoppage in play. Devils looking to break out, 3-on-4, gain the zone, onside, sent in, shot, and into the corner. Moved away and back to neutral, piece of the stick knocked out by the linesman, and turned over at center ice. Amston with a good shot, gloved in by Reason to stop play. A fast 6 minutes, no goals yet. Alex, what are you seeing so far?
I like how Reason controlled it the whole way, and I'm liking how the Devils are a bit more aggressive than we normally see them already. We see just even then on the left wing, Dallimore comes in, puts it on net straight away, looking for a rebound, looking to feed someone in the middle. Really positive signs rather than just trying to drive the net himself and making something of that play where there otherwise might not have been something.
Face off again, held in by the Stampede for just a moment, but then turned over. So the Stampede have Aston Brooks in net today. That's going to go for icing, and that was a bit of a mistake as that was sent through by tap-in, I think it was. Just looking for the pass, it goes all the way through.
We'll get this Eden or Abs line back out on the ice for the Devils here. They did a lot right in their first shift, so we'll look for them to keep building on their success.
Now, Orr was a pickup from the Phoenix Thunder from last year, so that's a big positive for the South Island move for the Red Devils. Face-off coming in the near zone. Carson Pratt to take it for the Stampede. Bit of a hold-up there. Looks like Eden was a little bit put off the puck, so he had to throw it into the corner. Orr chased. Out to the corner. Tappan sends it deep into the slot. Nothing doing there yet. Cycling. Puck goes behind the net for Brooks. Tappan holds it in for just a moment. Turned over in the slot.
This is great for the Devils.
Pass. Eden with a shot. Tough angle, nothing doing. There's a stoppage in play. And they're sending somebody out of the zone. Oh, no, it's just the moorings off for the net there. So face-off coming in the offensive zone for the Devils near side. Really positive play with that same line again.
Yeah, it was great cycling. We saw all there for the tip off of Tappan's point shot and then round to Eden to continue the cycle game. Really strong in the offensive zone there from the Devils.
Cool to take the face-off in neutral ice for the Devils. Knocked back to Mason Reese. He sends it in. The Stampede trying to get out. Off to Harrison. Harrison has his pass deflected. And he picks it up again, strangely. Strange bounce shot in over Reason's head. I think he was beat on that, but luckily it was off target. And Reese takes it behind the net to set up the offense again. Skates in, skates out. A little bit of a weak pass there. Soffer knocks it back in, but it does come back out to neutral. Flying in on this one, the offense a little bit less coordinated this time. But it's still in there and held in. And the Stampede get control. Tipped forward by Harrison again. This is not going to go for icing. Devils move it around the backboards. It does go out to neutral. Line change done for the Stampede, and they're going to give it a shot here.
Stampede going hard on dump and chase early in period one.
Yeah, both teams have been interested in just playing the positional game so far. But the Devils taking it through neutral ice more the Stampede looking to pass more. And just as I say that, we try a 3-line pass. That's knocked down. Hand pass called. This should be a center ice face-off. 12 minutes to go here at the Alpine Ice. 8 minutes in and no goals yet. The feeling out process still underway. So this is going to go neutral near dot on our side. Dallimore is going to be on the other side of Perver to take it for the Devils. Dallimore and McCarg getting the obligatory I see you from behind from the linesman. That goes in. Dallimore is going to hold on to it. Gives a very good pass right in the middle there. Can't get a shot off. Who was that? That was Matt Graham again. Just handcuffed a little bit because of where the puck was. They continue to cycle. Puck in the near corner. Pinned in just for a moment, then knocked around. Back and forth behind the net. Couldn't find it for just a moment. Brooks yelling, and eventually it was Burns that gets it out for the Stampede. Shot in on Reason. Reason doesn't hold on to that one, gets knocked back out. 2-on-3, the Devils try to wring this right back out, get something from the speed that they've been generating, which has been very positive so far. But a quick turnover, Abs to take a good shoulder charge and stop the impending offense by the Stampede, and we play back and forth at neutral ice. Van Sickle with it, trying to get it away from Eden. Successful thus far. It goes into the zone and back out off of a linesman. That was offsides for a moment, but only because it had some funny bounces. The referee's getting in the middle of play here. Of course, there's only one referee, but the official's getting in the way there. I was corrected myself for that. And backing around, a little bit of a no-look pass in the defense. And then Orr to go and sort all of it out, send it around. Off to Bradley Apps. Apps looking to get it forward to Eden.
Great outlet.
Gets it. Good back pass. Off to Mason Reese. He's going to try to get something off. That's deflected around and into neutral. 4 good passes there. Just not quite the quality opportunity, and that skips over Apps' stick as he's trying to play it out the defense.
Joe Orr just got off the ice there after another good shift. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the Red Devils' new addition already.
Jacob Carey up to play the puck. Doesn't quite get there in time. But Carey's holding on to it. He passes it. And the Devils gain the zone. Shot in on Brooks. Brooks with a simple kick. He goes up into the net, and that's going to stop play. We're halfway into a period, Alex. I'm liking what I see, but nobody taking any chances yet, it doesn't seem like.
No, both teams very keen to just get into it at their own pace. Devils especially, first game of the season, they're getting their legs under them. Especially against a team like the Stampede. They'll feel pretty good that they're playing them toe-to-toe at the moment. Just need to create that opportunity that finds a goal.
Yeah, now this is a Stampede team with 2 wins to their credit already against the Phoenix Thunder last weekend. So a little surprised that there's so much of a feeling out process, but we'll see how this goes. It's just the first period. Pass out in front, right in front of Brooks, and that doesn't stay in. Brown had it for just a moment, but that came off of his stick, and they have to play it back out. Good switch of the side of the ice. Pass by Lowe in. A solid attempt at a body. There's a good hit.
Big checks.
Coyle taking the worst of that one. Back out to neutral and through. Is that Freer? Yep, Lachlan Freer with it. And that's just kind of a weak shot, but they just keep bouncing and bouncing around in front of Reason. I think that was 4 attempts, none of them all that strong, but then we have a penalty coming up, and that's going to go, it looks like it's going to go against the Stampede, but I'm not positive because they were both there at the puck.
Yeah, it looks like the Stampede player for elbow in there. That was fortunate to stay out there. The Devils got caught there. They had 2 Stampede players in behind them, home free, but they couldn't beat Reason. He has to scramble a little bit there to keep the puck out of his net, but keep the puck out of his net, he does, and we're still level.
And McCarg with 2 minutes for elbowing. And that's confirmed by the linesman for us. So 2 minutes on the board, first special teams of the afternoon. See how Mr. Perver takes this face off. He does not get it. And the Stampede are looking to clear, but can't quite do it. Looks like Harrison's going to get to it, and sends it around.
Of course, no icing on the 4v5 for the Stampede, so the Red Devils needing to collect again.
The offense getting set up, 5-on-4, fresh legs, and we're underway into neutral. Gained the zone dump, but turned over, and that's going to, no, it doesn't go right back out. That's a shot.
Oh.
Matt Graham with a wrister right out in front. May have had a little bit more room to run up the slot, but took a shot on Brooks when he was comfortable and uncovered, and Brooks was up to the test, loving that in the upper left corner.
It's probably the best look we've seen so far for the Devils. Unscreened in the slot right in front, but just couldn't solve the goalie there. Nice glove save from Brooks.
That's Aiden Boole taking this face off, and he wins it. They keep it in just barely, although it's quickly turned over and sent, well, it was going to go the length of the ice, but caught it right at the center dot. And that's big Dan Nichols there with the large beard. Can't miss him once you see it.
What a glorious bat it is.
I think he's ready for the playoffs now. And as he gains the zone, he sits with the puck and then moves it into the corner as he's doubled up. Passed out to the middle. He's going to nifty back pass, holds it in front in the slot, shot in. And Brooks with a positional save, just waiting for it. Nothing really too spicy coming his way, but a good effort by the Devils, getting another shot on the power play. 41 seconds to go. Apps watches it, goes right on by him, and as it kept in, it is.
Nice.
Walked in, Eden with it, off to Apps. He's unable to control it on the fly, so he has to push it behind the net. Eden gets a hold of it for just a moment, or with it now in the corner. He's circling. Push the circle on the PlayStation controller, and in it goes. And back around to Apps. Looking to get something in the middle, but right now cycling well on the outside. Shot to Eden.
Oh.
A deflection, not quite on target, but a very good effort. Probably the best situation the Devils have had offensively thus far. Penalties over, 5-on-5. Shot in, just off the side. Apps is going to control it and keep it in the blue line. The Devils are looking to change here, so the puck's going to come back out. About 3 shots, I think it was, officially on that power play. A good effort. But the Stampede coming right back out at it. McCarg with a little energy to burn and trying to make up for what was kind of an elbow call. It didn't need to happen. And he's energetic, mullet flowing, and ready to play hockey. Devils bring it in behind Brooks. Back out to the point. Long wrister in, nothing too hard on it, looking for a deflection or something. McCarg goes and digs it out, but can't get it out of the zone yet. Dodwell with a good shift here, and the Stampede looking to get a couple of fresh legs out, and they just can't get the puck out. Carson Pratt back there to dig it out, can't do it. The Devils doing their best to hold on to it, and they do. Shot in. That was a dangerous shot. It wouldn't exactly, Harry Lowe with a low runner at the pads. It wasn't on target, wasn't supposed to be on target, looking for a deflection in, and instead Brooks jumps out and holds it.
Yeah, encouraging forecheck in there for the Devils after a solid power play. They were getting into really good positions, but couldn't just finish off it. It's that last touch that they're looking for that seems to be so often the case.
Perver won that, and they did hold that in the zone for just a moment, but the Stampede doing their best with the defense to get it out, and they play back and forth at neutral ice. Carson Pratt with it for just a moment, sends it back to Burns, and several yellow jerseys over the boards. Burns holds on to it, looking to get it out, but a bit of a forecheck, trying to annoy them and see if Mr. Graham can get anything out of it. Puck does go in, and Harrison gains the zone, takes a low wrister off target, goes around the boards, comes back in. Behind the net, good defense there, doesn't get into the slot. True had it for just a moment, then the couple of opportunities, but nothing with a good angle to it, and back out to neutral. True with it, sends it in, gains the zone, but the Stampede looking to switch, so the Devils have it a little easier to get out. They're out to neutral, and they push through. chase down the puck. No icing here. It's not going to get that far. But no opportunity, and back and forth we go. So Brooks not going to hold on to that, although he could have stopped play. Puck comes out to neutral again. Brown's got it. Brown's going to push it forward. And around we go back out to neutral. Devils hold on to it. Nichols doing his best to hold off his opponent and keeps it in neutral. Up to Carey. Carey with a wrister, and Brooks doesn't know what part of the body he's got it, but he's got it. And another good opportunity. Jacob Carey with that stunner of a shot that he has.
It's lovely from Jacob Carey. Brooks was not awfully confident that he did in fact have that under his arm. He did manage to squeeze it and keep it out, so we're still level here, but nice shot from Carey to almost send us up 1-0.
Yeah, he squeezed it, and you could see him backing up like, I think I've got it, but I might not. And face-off won by the Stampede. And that's out to neutral, looking for a 2-on-3 here. Off to McCarg. McCarg knocks it away, or gets it knocked away from him. So no opportunity right out in front of Reason's net. Puck goes around. And the Devils cleared out to neutral, looking for some more speed. The Orr taking at about 100 feet, which is unusual for a to come all the way out of the defensive zone like that and not get picked up, but it worked out for the Stampede, and they worked their way through. Sysho coming out on a change. He's going to get to the puck first, but stick goes flying. That was a bit more visual than anything. And it's picked up, and 2-on-1 breaking out. Eden with it. He's not able to hold off to it. He's got to get the across the board, and a pass in on the trying to get to the slot. Doesn't get there. That goes out of the zone, out to neutral. And now there's a stop. Not sure what the stop was again. Did that, I mean, I was saying that was an offside, but I think that's a penalty against Chris Eden and Carson Pratt.
Coincidental as it looks like.
Yeah. So coincidental minors for roughing. And I think we'll continue on here 4-on-4. Yep, 4-on-4 is the play. So bring that all the way down to the Red Devils side. And this should open up the ice a little bit. Nobody's been able to solve either goalie yet, but we should see some speed coming up here with a 4-on-4. A little chip into Reason. Reason's going to let it out of his glove, and Harrison harasses the Devils as they try to get out. But a quick 2-on-3 attempt didn't happen, but it was not offside because of the way it was played by the Stampede on the delayed offside, or the hybrid offside. Nichols with it. Nichols smashes it into the, I think it was Amston, and bounced out. And we continue 4-on-4, a little bit of a back and forth. Dallimore with it. He's going to take a big slap shot. Stick from Brooks on something that was probably a foot over the crossbar, swings it out, and I think that one went for 6, if I've got my cricket right.
Absolutely, the nice scoop for 6.
Scoop for 6.
We love that from Brooks.
I still have no idea what happens in cricket. It's still a funny game of baseball that I can't understand, but I do know that that's what happens when you go for 6. So cultural learnings here at the Alpine Ice. Dropping the puck again, 4-on-4 still. Carey lost that one. The Stampede gets set up. 75 seconds to go on this 4-on-4. Burns takes it in, gains the zone. Shot in. That was kind of a funny one. Didn't really, I don't think Reason saw it the whole way, and that was bounced off of his jersey. Burns takes it through. Burns is going to get a shot off. 3 guys saying Olay on that defense there, and luckily Reason in the right spot to pick that one off. A dangerous little play for the Stampede by a single contributor.
Yeah, once again we see from Reason a little bit of scramble in his net, but it's working for him so far. Everything has stayed in front of him, even despite going a little bit out of position and the need to scramble being there.
Full change for the Stampede. Soffer wins that one to Amston. That bounces away. Nichols gets out of the zone. Hard hit by Drew.
Stampede having a great time controlling play on the 4-on-4.
Yeah, it almost feels like, so Nichols picks up the puck, good physical play by him, but lost it behind the net. It feels like 4-on-4 is an advantage to the Stampede so far, Alex.
Absolutely.
Oh, what a good move individually there. Brown with a good stick work, 2-on-3, couldn't get it back to him there, so the shift change with Orr coming out. And Hopkins and Brown along with Apps, so they're looking to get the 5-on-5. They're both out. Eden's on the ice, so they've got the matching lines out there. Kicked around to Brown. And a funny, well, that goes out on the hitting the roof there. That was kind of weird with Brown not being able to clear it. It looked like a deflection back out towards the slot. But just half a minute left here in the first period. I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen any goals given the opportunities that have been there.
Yeah, it feels surprising. The opportunities have certainly been there. Both goalies have been pretty well on their game so far, but both teams just kind of not being all that dangerous, all things considered. One or two decent opportunities each way.
And the face-off won by the Stampede, but then turned over and kicked out of the zone. The Stampede gets set at neutral ice for what looks like their last opportunity of the first period. Carson Pratt gains the zone. He passes it through. That's deflected and goes just over the sideboards. Will be a face-off in the defensive end for the Red Devils with, I think officially we've got 12 seconds on the clock here. So if we'll be close to that. So a little bit of time here for the guys in yellow to get something done, but they lose the face-off. That's going to go off the glass. Tipped around and held 3-2. There's no shot here, so that's going to end the first period. That's the horn, and I guess I want to say a surprising outcome of no goals in the first period, but pretty happy with the effort by the Red Devils in that period.
Yeah, if you're a Red Devils fan, you got to be pretty happy with how they're sticking in there against a really good Stampede team. They're going to be happy to get off the ice at the moment. The last 2 or 3 minutes was all Stampede there. So take a little break, get back to a next period. It's still level. Still got a lot to play for come periods 2 and 3.
Yeah, I think the most important thing that the Red Devils can do here is play a disciplined game, because if they get to a position where they're down a man, I'm a bit worried about their special teams, but if they stay 5-on-5, it looks like the opportunities will come their way.
Yeah, we saw it even then, just at 4-on-4. The amount that the Stampede was just absolutely controlling the play, setting up their triangles everywhere they wanted to, and just dictating the Red Devils all over the ice. No matter what zone they're in, they had all the control.
So 0-0 the score. We're going to go to a quick break here. We got a couple of replays going through. Nothing 5-on-5.
Yeah, Devils are in this game, especially 5-on-5. They're looking like they're going toe-to-toe with the Stampede. And really, that's a spot you want to be in as the underdog team. So we want to keep pushing through periods 2 and 3 and hopefully look for those opportunities where they're finding space, but they just need their end shot on there to get through to the goalie.
I'd like to thank our 2022 sponsors, Spark Christchurch, Majors Contracting, and Cedra Express. We'd also like to acknowledge the companies who have provided services to us here for the Red Devils. That's Access Solutions, Scaffolding, Performance Plus Physio, Beckford Sports for their medical help, Go Media for billboard advertising, thank you Go Media, and South Island Media helping us out with the live stream this afternoon. Thanks for that, guys. And we're about to get underway. Long shifts for the second period, and Devils with the puck first. Sent in by Nichols all the way around and all the way back to the red line. Out to Reason. Reason's going to flip it away. Nearly knocked Nichols in the noggin, and Freer holds on to it. Gives it back to Freer. And he's going to go behind Brooks's net there. Flipped up, and well, it stays in play. And Orr's going to take it out to neutral. He's harassed by Carson Pratt. And, ooh, a nifty pass there, but Bradley App's not finding anybody who was on the wing there. And the Stampede tried to get it out. Can't do it. Big hit. That was out of nowhere. And Soffer with a, I don't know if it was deflected off Nichols or not, but that went out with some speed, Alex.
Yeah, a little bit slower start to the second period. Unlike the first, so we had that blistering action to start us off. Both teams are very happy to just lean into it a little bit here at the start.
Face-off coming at neutral, and Graham and Freer being told to hold back again. And Perver winning that face-off. Off to Graham. Graham sends it forward, not quite to Perver. Back and forth at neutral we go. And Matheson Graham trying to get a hold of it there. Not quite. Deflected pass. Back and forth we go. Sent through. Freer's going to chase it down. No, he doesn't quite get there. The Devils do first, but Freer holds on to it. Passed over to McCarg. McCarg can't get anything onto Reason's net with any. It just kind of trickles by him, really. And the Devils hold on to the puck, stopping that charge by the Stampede. Off to Perver. Perver's trying to get a 2-on-2 going here, but he doesn't have the puck. Graham can't hold it in, and the Stampede turned that right around 3-on-4. That was offsides. McCarg was over just a split second before the puck came in.
Want to see the Devils a bit more proactive on their zone clears here. We've seen it season after season. They struggle in their own zone a little bit, and that's creeping in a little bit here early in the second period. Have to be really strong on your own end. As we know, a good offense is often started by a good defense.
And I think it's notable to say that this has really picked up here in the second period where the benches are on the other side. We'll see how that plays out here as the Stampede have the puck in deep, looking for a slot shot. Doesn't quite happen, just bounces and deflects off the boards. Doesn't quite come out though. Freer holding it in.
Good poke check from Reason there to keep that away from the man in front.
Absolutely. And Syshow knocking it all the way to the other side. The Syshow with it again. Backhanded pass, it scores! Where was that? Suddenly, Syshow with the assist. I didn't see who got the goal.
It was 84, 85, I think. That's the icebreaker on the Devils' 22 season. Yeah, it was.
Dodwell with the first goal of the afternoon. Let's see that again as that comes in and around. Played back to the corner. Syshow with this wicked pass. Finds his man. That is a fantastic pass. Well done. Syshow with a big assist. Wide open net, and Dodwell doesn't miss. Great break here. That's just a play. It's a hustle play, but it's also keeping your eyes up, and that no-look pass is just, what a great way to start the season. Face off at center. 1-0 the score. The Devils have the lead over the SkyCity Stampede. Amston gets the puck off the face-off, sends it back out. Well, it was sent back out, and the Stampede looking to set something up, but I don't think they can. Nichols with it. He sends it through. That's going to go for icing if it's not caught in time. It was playable. Apparently, the linesman brought his arm down. Kept in, all the way in on Brooks. That one trickled in. Glove stop, nothing on it, and play held before face-off.
Both teams buzzing a little bit more after that goal. It's really kicked us off here. A feed from Sideshow and the Berry. Oh, really great goal to start the Devils season off. Let's hope we can see some more here.
Face off in the far zone. The offensive end, and Nichols with a shot in. Wow, that was another deflection that nearly caught Brooks off guard, but nothing doing with the eventual stop. 1-0 still the score, but like you said, everybody's buzzing here and looking for a chance. Bit of a hold up here. The referee stopped as they're looking to make sure that there's a gate over there that needs to be done correctly. No, it's not the gate. It's actually his helmet that he's looking at. So we'll get underway here in just a moment. And there we go. The man with the orange cuffs runs the show. If he says stop, everybody stops. Held in by the Devils here, although that one goes directly out. Ooh, that's the team manager, Mr. Carey. Jacob and Jacob's dad, he's actually took one off of his hand there. That's and Tim's his other son, the other goalie, not playing today, but O'Neill didn't expect to be in the action quite like that. So,
do you call that a drop catch, Matt?
Oh, I don't know, but it broke his finger. Like, that's another cricket reference. Everybody breaks their fingers apparently. I don't know these things. I think I've been here too long to know I can't say that I don't know anything about it anymore, so I'm doing my best. But yeah, he's, yikes. We'll have to see how he's doing after this one. 3 minutes into this, and the ice is definitely tilted to the right here. The Devils doing their very best to keep the pressure on the Stampede, and they've been doing a really good job so far in the second period. Pass up to Soffer. Soffer tries to get it out to neutral. A good hit there by Chris Eden, not taking a penalty and softening up the play and turning it around so that the Devils can get an offensive chance here in deep to the corner. Not quite held in, but they reset at center. Lowe's going to take it in. He takes it in and beats his man. Two of them. Gets it around on the corner. That was a kind of a pass attempt in front into the slot in front of Brooks, but nothing happening. And the Devils hold on to it. The Stampede looked for a change as they had some tired legs. Pass, that one went up. Apparently that stayed in. It looked like it kind of hit a net, but it looked like it stayed in apparently off the top dasher. And back out to neutral. Freer not able to hold on to it. That's dumped past Perver's stick, and the Stampede continue on with the puck.
Joe Orr on Chris Eden's line looks to be a little bit of a revelation already for the Devils. They're really buzzing out there. They've just come off again from another shift where they've had all the territory, all the possession, looking dangerous.
Devils hold on to this, looking to get out. That was a very smart play to not rush any type of pass out. Dallimore with a kind of a flip-in shot, gets off of Brooks's glove. Brooks doesn't pin it, and goes to the board, then goes out to neutral. Decisions, Freer not being taken by the man. That was a kind of a zone mix-up there by the Devils, but they get away with it, and then we come out 4-on-3. Gain the zone. Dallimore is going to go chase that back down and gets a hit in. That puck stays on the dasher on the backside until it goes to the left. Stampede with it still. Stampede still looking to get something going. Instead, the Devils are doing their very best to get in all of the passing lanes, and they've been very effective so far in the second.
Yeah, pretty positive forechecking from the Devils.
Hit.
That'll get called a penalty.
I don't understand that one. Okay, it's going to be an interference call.
They're going to call it interference. He did have the puck, though.
The puck was there, so I don't understand how that happened. But Dodwell with the looking for the Bobby Orr triple here, but he's got himself a penalty. Can't get a fight anymore, but he just needs an assist. So, yeah, that's going to go 2 minutes for interference. And I got to admit, I'm a little bit worried here on the special teams, having just 4 out there for the Devils. We got to make sure that the zone responsibilities stay where they need to.
Absolutely. Even when it was 4-on-4, we saw the Stampede running circles around the Devils. So the Devils have really got to keep it tight here when they're down a man.
Yep, dumped in all the way down, and the team in yellow looking to get something set up. A little bit of a forecheck by Orr, but not much. And everybody looking for a pass, but instead they dump to a point. Soffer not able to collect all the way out, and they're going to have to do it again.
2 minutes for interference. That's a penalty.
And the Stampede look to get their offense going here. Down the left side, Soffer runs it in with some speed, and he's interrupted, but the team in yellow hold on to it. Burns with a pass, shot in, that was off target. Rolls all the way back, and Burns is going to have to collect that one. 1:15 to go on the power play. And that's dumped back out to neutral. Stampede have to wait to go back in, and they do. McCarg with it. Up on the dasher, trying to hold it in. Devils bench looking for a call there, didn't get it. Held up at the point, to the other point. Freer to Amston. Amston with a hard shot in, off the glove, and a penalty coming. It's going to be another one against the Devils here. That's not good. True's going to come out for a 6-on-3. You don't see this very often, but fortunately for the Devils, they did get somebody on the puck. So 36 seconds of a very difficult situation for the Devils to hold this lead.
Absolutely. That was a pretty easy call, things considered, against Nichols after he got his stick broken. He essentially tackled his man. So, yeah, not allowed in the game of ice hockey, and he'll go off for 2 minutes.
So would you say that was a smart penalty, and given the situation where he was at? Did he stop a goal, or did he take a penalty he didn't need to?
You can't be taking that penalty there. Now you're down 5-on-3. The puck wasn't really in the area, even if it was threatening a little bit. Now you're down 2 men for 25 seconds.
And that triangle's inverted this time, so they're going to play too high. The Devils doing their best to stay close, and Jacob Carey with a good deflection there, killing some time. Passed around the other side. 17 seconds on the board, and that goes out. Burns with a big mistake here has to play out to neutral. They get reset, but Freer gets a little bit of room out on the side. Shot in, and that goes straight in the goalie. Harrison taking a dive, but Stampede hold on to the puck. They're going around, bounced off the back of the cage. That is the end of the penalty, the first penalty. So it is 5-on-4. A shorthanded opportunity almost appeared there. Brown's with it. He's going to hold on to it, but the line changes 4-on-1. This is a big mistake by the Devils line change, and they get away with a big one here. Amston holds on to it. He's back out at neutral. This is still a 5-on-4 for 1 minute. The Stampede with a continued opportunity. The Devils trying to get fresh legs out there. Deflection, and that's not going to be an icing as that was played. And the Devils able to get it out one more time.
Feels like the Devils are more or less getting away with murder here. So many chances against.
Yep.
That's a great save from Daniel Reason.
It really is. He was moving across. He was in the right spot for that, but I think you're right. The 33 seconds to go on this second penalty, and the reality is the Stampede not scoring here might be worse than anything else that the Red Devils have done. The Stampede not pulling this one off would be just kind of a killer for them. So,
feels like the Devils have been begging for them to score, giving up 4-on-1s, giving up cross seams into the slot. Just nothing really going for the Stampede, all things considered.
I can't remember the last time I didn't see a 4-on-1 without at least a good opportunity. Burns with it. Shot in. Who was that? That was 63. I'll get a name on that license plate in a minute. Devils holding on to that puck. There's a stick behind the net. Somebody's without one, so we're 5-on-4 and missing a stick. So it's 5-on-3 and a half.
Great block.
And a big block by Bradley Apps. He was the one without the stick, but the captain makes a huge stop, and we are back to 5-on-5. Nichols is going to come across for the change, and we are back out to even strength. And what could have been a breakaway there by Carson Pratt turns into almost nothing. And the Devils have survived a big test of the special teams for the start of this season. Quick turnaround to Harrison. Harrison one-on-one. Can't get a good shot off. The goal looks like it might be off its moorings. Nope, it's not, so we're going to continue play. The magnet was strong enough. 2-on-4, shot in. And Brooks has to make kind of a flashy glove save there. I don't think it was on target, but he didn't want the thing spinning around, and we have a stop in play. Alex, what just happened?
The Devils are embodying bend but don't break here at the moment. There's so many chances against, but they're keeping their heads just above water somehow. Bradley Epps putting his body on the line without a stick, making that block right at the end of the penalty kill. That's really big from the captain to keep his team 1-0 up in this game.
Yeah, that laying the body out like that, that was a big move. And then a turnover. No, they're going to hold on to it, and the Devils reset to Nichols, Brown. Brown's going to look for a long pass to Carey. Gets through. That's going to go for icing. That was a quick call, but icing it is against the Red Devils. Face-off coming up in the defensive end.
Feels like we finally get to exhale a bit here, Matt. This period's been pretty much go, go, go since the penalties have been called.
It really has, but I think the problem here is if they exhale, they could give one up here after all that good work. So hopefully they can get this out of the zone quickly and establish an offense, which is what they've been doing a good job with so far. And there's a quick shot in. McCarg with a ripper. No, sorry, that was Freer. Sorry, the mullets are interchangeable at some point. Freer with a good shot low, but reason up to it. And we're going to redo that one. The Southern Trust funding your community. Thank you to the Southern Trust for sponsoring the 2022 Canterbury Red Devils. Face-off won by the Stampede once again, and another wrister comes in. Was that Freer again, or was that McCarg?
Yeah, almost a carbon copy of the play, pretty much. The shot's just up on the glove rather than down on the pad of reason there. Devils be wanting to clear this one out, but here comes that line of Orr, Eden, and Apps that I've been talking about so much today.
Yeah, it's good for them to get a quick blow and get back out on that ice. Fisher Ice Hockey, thank you for your support this year. Fisher Ice Hockey, a major supporter of the Red Devils. Third shot, although this one was too high, Reason couldn't glove that, and we continue on as the Stampede try to chase that shot, but they can't do that. Ends up going out of the zone. Quick turnover in neutral, though. And back and forth we go as it's tipped around. Nobody really wanting it too badly, but the Stampede do get it in their offensive end for a moment. Another smart pass out. This is going to go up to Eden on the right. He's going to hold up, take a shot. That's a little high. Hits the glass, stays in. And the opportunity continues back on Eden's stick. Over to Apps, back to Eden. Orr charging for it. And Tappan's got to go chase this down. I have to say, Alex, it's still a little bit weird for Joe Orr to be on the lineup with a red shirt on. That was a kind of a weak pass out of there. That's the first time we've seen that in a while. But the Devils are going to get away with it. They find Eden in Eden's favorite hiding spot at the left point. Tries to get a shot off 1-on-3. That's deflected. I think they knew that one was coming, if I had to guess.
Yeah, Eden's still cooking here. Even outnumbered, he's still going at it down in the corner. He's going to draw an ice in here. That's great work from Chris Eden.
Really
no icing?
Okay, apparently it was deflected, but everybody skates back and sets up. That's a bad turnover in front to 63 over here. That was the one I didn't get before. I will get it this time. That name is Van Zielkel. Sorry, couldn't read that one from the back because it looked a little different, but we're all getting our sea legs here this afternoon. Pass through, that's going 3 lines. No icing on this one either. They're very permissive on this today. I'm sure I didn't see what the deflection or opportunity to play was, but that's what was called, so we continue on here. The Devils chase it down, but that's out to Burns. Burns takes a long wrister. Reason sees it the whole way, gets right in front of it. Easy stop, glove, and hold.
I feel like that whistle's welcome from the Red Devils' point of view there. Just a little bit lethargic getting around their own zone, allowing a few shots in. Even though perhaps you could say there are a couple of missed icing calls in there, still just got to take care of the puck, get it out of your zone, stop chances against.
Yep, smarter play. They've gotten away with a couple of them, but I think that's because you know, they've pretty much done the right things. They just a couple of lazy passes, and even then, it's just the Stampede being in the right spot and being well coached there. So both sides improving. It's good to see. Soffer with it. He did bring it in. They're onside. Harrison flips it back out to the line. Freer with it. No, Burns with a long shot, deflected around right in front. Devils player knocked over, but turned right around, and that is SkyCity looking for a chase down on that. All the way back around. Brown with it. Brown's going to hold it behind the cage and set up. 7:45 to go in the second. Another high, good pace to it. A little less of the feeling out, a little bit more opportunities here, just not converted yet. Out to neutral.
Oh,
tapped
close.
around. That was close to being an opportunity. Lowe getting off the ice for Bull. That's Nichols with it. Not a hand pass because apparently he was out of the zone, knocked it away. And back out to neutral, 1-on-4. Stampede looking for a change. Devils looking for a setup, and off we go again. Long pass, deflected. That's gonna stay in play. Offsides for just a moment. Gets out to neutral. Big hit on,
hit from behind.
Yeah, that was a rough one, but it's going to turn into an opportunity. Shot, and Brooks is up to it. 6:46 to go, and well, that was a good one. Not really sure who that was on. Took that shot. Did you catch that number?
Number 33.
Yep. Anyway, we'll get back to you on that one, or to take this face off. As we say, it's an incomplete roster at this point of the year.
Yeah, no nameplate on 33 yet either.
Yeah, so I've got a name, but I don't think it's that person, so I'm just going to leave it alone. We'll just call him 33 today. Sorry about that, number 33, but that's where we're at.
Oh.
Good hit by Orr. Kind of ducked under that one just in the nick of time. And this line continues to impress for the Devils. Eden looking to try to keep it in. Lowe had it. Lowe he chopped at it. And it just barely made the dasher and went out into the players over there, which is why they stopped. Neutral ice face-off coming up. Majors Contracting Limited, a sponsor of the 2022 Canterbury Red Devils. Thank you, Majors Contracting, for your support. Perver to take this face-off. Neutral ice. Wins it, goes to Lowe, flips back. Great stick work by Dallimore, holds on to it, tries to get Perver something. That stays in. Another great play just to hold on to it, but that's going to turn over and be about a 3-on-3 as we go here. McCarg just dumps it in. Reason has to hold on to it because it was a little bit bouncy and floaty, and the safety on that required him to stop it. So face-off coming up with about 6 minutes to go in the second period. Alex, I'm pretty happy with the way the Devils are playing here. They're toe-to-toe with the Stampede and doing it right.
Very solid here. I've been liking their puck management a lot more the last few minutes, especially in the offensive zone. Fighting board battles, winning board battles, keeping possession, and just all around playing a way tighter game.
Perver beat Carson Pratt with the face-off there, and that's going to bring it all the way back down to the other side of the ice. But well, back and forth we go in neutral, won by the Devils. They're going to get an offensive opportunity. Oh, there's a late whistle. I think there's a hurt player.
Looked like he got copped in the face.
Nope. There's no penalty or no arm up right now, so I'm not sure if there's going to be anything going on, but do I have that right? Is it Carson Pratt they got that?
Number 11.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he got his bell rung, and that's not pleasant. Lineman and referee discussing, but no call. So maybe he got hit with a puck. I don't know. Didn't see it. Maybe that one's good for the replays. We'll see if we can grab that one, but we'll see at the end of this. Puck dropped and back and forth. Oh, it's swung in, but nothing really doing. Soffer holds on to it and pushes it away and gets it back. Gains the zone, tries to get something in the slot, can't do it. Held it, that's a goal! Absolutely out of nowhere. A throwaway wrister beats reason.
Captain.
Was that Callum Burns with an absolutely out of nowhere bananas wrister? Or was it
That's
that
Freer,
Reason wasn't
captain.
seeing it? Was it Freer?
Yeah.
Let's see that again. Just kind of shot it in. I would swear to you, he turned around like this was not a like a Steph Curry turnaround three because I knew it was going in. This was I'm knocking this towards the goal because I'm dumping it in and skating around, and it ended up tying the game.
The no-look shot from Freer to ice that one. Now we're level at 1-1.
Yep. So just like that, out of nowhere. Even game again. So 5 minutes to go.
You can't let that deflate you if you're the Devils here. It's a little bit of a soft goal, but you got to just keep pushing. You're still even with maybe the best team in the league over the last few years, so just keep playing, keep pushing. You're right there with them.
Yep. You knew this was going to happen. Something was going to be a little flaky, but that's okay. A little bit of a tough pass there. So this looks like it's going to be a mental exercise for the Devils, whether they can hold on to it. Jacob Carey doesn't care one bit. Takes a good shot up in the upper right corner of Brooks' goal, and gets it back again. Loses the puck only because there's a rogue stick on the ice. That's as good a defense as that stick will ever do, and it goes all the way down for icing. But yeah, that was another opportunity for Jacob Carey to get something done, and just a bad coincidence with that stick.
Jacob Carey is something special, huh? There's a reason that guy plays over in the States. That is, there's two opportunities created on his stick. One forces a blocker save, the other doesn't quite get through because of that rogue stick, but good signs here for the Devils shortly after conceding.
Yeah, I don't think he's a surprise to anybody anymore. He is part of the big show, and there's a reason the scouts are looking at him. Harrison with a twist around, can't get it out. Devils hold it in, looking for a shot. Wrister, backhander by Apps, and Brooks holds on to that one. That was headed right for the top crossbar, and who knows what happens there. So good save by Brooks.
That looked destined to be tucked in nicely into bed there in the top corner from Apps. That's a nice save from the goalie.
Spark Business Hub Christchurch. Spark, a sponsor of the Canterbury Red Devils. Thank you very much for sponsoring the 2022 season. Face-off coming, and won by the Devils. Walked up and a shot, nothing doing there. Orr with it. Orr's going to put some pressure on. And 3-on-4 breakout. Oh, Freer is intercepted by Lowe. Lowe can't quite get it in there. Oh, and what a hit by Lowe. Wow. And that Lachlan Freer is still waiting to see if the bird stops circling his head. Puck picked up at neutral, turned around. Chris Eden going after it, couldn't quite get it, but it's going to be a Devils recovery here, and they play on. 1-on-3, it does go out into neutral, and Perver looking for it. Couple of good passes. It does at least get to neutral there after the deflection, and Brown to collect behind the net. He circles back smartly, sets up, and get 3 forecheckers here. The SkyCity playing really high up, trying to disrupt that outlet pass. And so far it's worked a little bit, but probably not the way that we would have seen it before, especially last season. So that's a good sign. Turned over, shot in, and nothing doing there as that was deflected before it ever got to Reason. True's going to chase it down. And True starting the offense. That's deflected. Perver with it. He pulled it out of the sky. Can't quite get it down the length of the boards, and that's a 2-on-2 to the Stampede. Dallimore collects it out at neutral, though, and that threat is over. Nichols plays for the puck. Big man comes down. You know, it does remind me, without Matt Schneider on the center for the Stampede, seeing somebody at 6'13" out there and holding on to the puck, it really does change the way that this team looks out on the ice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it brings us really solid presence to the back end. You see he's often the last man back there, being the first man forward. Nichols is all over the ice for the Red Devils, just providing that calm presence from the back end that they so desperately needed.
Yep. Reason holding on to that for safety, puts his glove on it, stops play with about 2 minutes to go. That's actually a pretty good sequence for the Devils to not let anything kind of get in the way there. And everything looking okay for them at the moment. Now granted, it's 1-1 again. Hopefully no more rogue shots going past reason without seeing it. And to be fair, especially on that side, it is tough, you know, if he's looking right into the audience there. It's a black puck against a black background. I can understand why it would happen, but obviously we wouldn't expect it to. Freer's going to chase this down into the corner. The Stampede continue to try to get something going in those corners and dump and chase, and it's just not really happening for them in this second period. And back and forth to neutral, but it's going to be an opportunity for the Devils. That's a pass. Didn't quite expect it. Sisho went and skated right by it. And that could have been a high sticking there. I'm not sure if that came straight up, but no call there. And a big hit into the side. Devils looking at it for just a moment there. Apps with it and passed it. Right out in front. Early whistle, very early whistle. It looked like Brooks kind of played towards it, but that puck was never under his glove. And they still stopped play with a minute to go here. So face-off coming in the offensive zone for the Devils. Tappan's going to be out there on that backside point. You can expect that to kind of go back. Look for a play for Gould to, nope, he didn't win the faceoff, but it still goes to that point. Sent around, and Stampede control. They send that all the way down. Expect that to be an ice. Yep, that was an early one. Carson Pratt's going to say that that's something he could have chased down, but there were two Devils around him, so that wasn't happening. Faceoff coming all the way back down to the offensive zone.
46 seconds to go here in the period. We're hoping the Devils can finish this one strong. They've got the positional play there. They've got the big line out. Let's see if we can score a goal and go into the break 2-1 up.
Yeah, I think these guys are going to play out the remainder of this period. I would be surprised if anybody changes here. Or for the faceoff, he wins it, pushes through, tries to get something off, it gets deflected through the slot into the far corner. Eden with a shot, waits for his guy to slide by, and he doesn't quite get it on target, trying to get some air underneath it. Devils hold on to it for just a moment, but they have to reset and recycle. That's back to Orr. Orr's going to gain the zone. He's 1-on-3, but looking for a pass back. Nichols with it. He's going to take a shot. That's taken away off his stick. That one's taken away off his stick. 3-on-2 developing for the Stampede. That's moved. Burns looking for it. Burns didn't get the pass that would have been a bit more effective, and Nichols just takes the Harrison takes the long sweeping shot and doesn't get anything done. Reason up to the task.
I'd like to give some credit to Bradley Abs there for his work on the back check. He's acting as the defenseman there as the last man back. In the 2-on-1, takes away the lane for the pass, forces the shot, gives Reason room to make the save.
Off we go, 12 seconds to go. Face-off coming in the defensive end. We're looking to just clear this one out. And back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And are we out of time? Yes, we are. 3 seconds. And Amston's got it, back to neutral. Dallamore's got nothing to do with it, and that is the period. Second period complete, and once again, we are level. 1-1 the score, and I don't know, Alex, I feel like, obviously everything's in the balance here for the third period. It's been tightly played, but that didn't look tentative to me.
No, not tentative anymore. We're well into the flow of this game now. Red Devils are right where they want to be. They're in the mix. You could say maybe they deserve to be up. That was a pretty soft goal against, but You're still 1-1 against the best team in the league going into the third. You got to be happy with that. You got a chance to come away with a win from this one, given you play well in the third.
Yeah, and very, for the exception of the 3-minute special teams where they really had to dig deep and get that done, for the most part, it's been pretty disciplined. So,
Yeah.
and that's been necessary, I think. So, I'll tell you what, I think we're going to go to take a look at the goals here. This one sent. I want to say this was the Devils' goal. We'll see. No, this is where it gets dumped in, sent around. Nope, wrong play there. So I think we got a few questions here on the replay. So I'll tell you what, we'll hold those. We'll talk about them just before we come back at the third and talk about the 2 goals in just a minute. But we're going to take a little bit of a break. Stick around. There'll be chuck-a-puck and a couple other things going on here. But 1-1 is the score. We'll be back with you after the second intermission here in Christchurch. Stampede out of almost nothing.
Yeah, it looks like it was straight through as well.
It was, yeah, he didn't see it. I just can't imagine that Reason saw that puck. So here it is again from the outside. Not much you can see on it there, but neither did Reason, I guess. So 1-1 is the score as we go through intermission here. Almost done with it. Have a little figure skating display on at the moment, but we just wanted to, we're going to leave it on the skating for a moment. Little West Side story for you, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Apologies. Push the wrong button. Big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen, for our very fine skating this afternoon. It'll run smoother tomorrow. Come back tomorrow and do it again. What do you think? All right. Here we are now, ladies and gentlemen, just moments away from the start of the third period.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center, the NZIHL on YouTube, bringing you the action between the Canterbury Red Devils and the SkyCity Stampede here in Christchurch, New Zealand, this fine 2nd of July. Banger of a game going here, Alex. My name's Matt Chavez. I'm here with Alex Gentry. We're talking some really good hockey. And, I mean, the only thing we can really compare it to is last season. And I don't want to kind of keep bringing up last season because that's last season. However, both teams are different. They're just different from who they were. Their identities are clearly different after 2 periods. And I think it's worth noting that this is a Red Devils team that seems to have things together and very disciplined.
It looked like they have a lot more purpose than they did last season. And as far as the 2022 season goes, this is a pretty good opening to it. Like we've said a bunch of times throughout the broadcast, this is a really tough Stampede team, and they're right there with them the whole way through. They've got a chance to win this game if they play a good third period here, and really, that's a spot any team would love to be in.
So after 2 periods, 1 goal each. So we went through those just a minute ago. One good opportunity for the Red Devils, getting a sideshow no-look pass to Dodwell, and then just Reason giving up the big one from the point. Not expecting to score, and there it was. Couldn't see it coming in, and 1-1 the score. It's a tighter game than the one in Auckland right now. The West Auckland Admirals beating up on the Swarm 3-0. So we're glad to have you here. Tight match as we open the third with the Devils getting underway. Looking for a long one off to Eden. He's going to get there first. No icing on this, even though there was a request. And the Eden or Apps line right back at it. That is offsides. Looks like Nichols tried his best to keep it in, but it didn't, just over. Quick 20 seconds to start, but yep, nothing doing yet. So we'll get this thing underway for real here with a dot drop just outside in the neutral ice zone. Orr wins it again. Off to Brown. Brown's going to look to throw it in. Oh, he goes short. Pass is intercepted. and Soffer with it. Tall individual himself. It's really amazing to think how tall the teams were in Queenstown for all those years. And collected by the Stampede. Eden's still out there. Off to neutral, dumped in. Brown's gonna collect. Stampede go for a change. Harrison Anoy, and so far, well, that's a turnover at the blue line, stayed in the offensive zone, not good, and a goal. There it is. That is the first big mistake that the Red Devils made, trying to get the puck out of the zone, and it cost him a goal. 2-1, SkyCity Stampede.
Feels like we've seen that plenty of times over the years, Matt. Red Devils not clearing properly, just really not being able to get out of the zone there, losing it in a man advantage spot. Freer goes around and decks it right over the shoulder of Reason there. That's quite a good finish, but like we say, the Devils should never be giving that one up.
Yeah, so credit to Freer for what was a great wrister, but should have never happened. So good work for the Stampede on the forecheck, making it work. And the Devils need to exercise their own demons and start getting some smart play out of the third. This was another one of those mental checks where they need to get past it, bad things happen, they need to keep going. Gallimore with it in the center of the ice. He's gonna send it in, offside for a delay for just a second, and they go for a change. Third line coming out. Lowe's back out. And Freer with it again, backhander but nothing on it. Reason covers up, nothing doing. Face off coming in the defensive zone.
Devils are very sleepy at the start of this third period. They're going to need to wake themselves up real quick if they want to have a chance.
Yeah, for all the things that we just said were, I mean, you said they were getting away with murder in the beginning of that second period with the special teams. For as switched on as they were, that is as switched off as they've been thus far. Reason covers up again for another face-off. 2022 sponsors for the Canterbury Red Devils. We'd like to thank Cedra Express, Majors Contracting, and Spark Christchurch. Thank you guys for doing the sponsorship and help to make this season a reality for the Red Devils. Face-off won by the Stampede there. They hold on to it and get in behind Reason's goal. And another goal out of nowhere. The Stampede. Van Sickle with another wrister from a deep angle. And Reason's shaking a little bit on this. That went over his shoulder.
Yeah, Van Sickle buries that one from, it looked like beneath the baseline there. So that is an unpleasant goal to concede if you're the Devils, especially after just having conceded the one to go down 2-1.
He looked like he was trying to pick it up for the Michigan play at first. And then he just shot it in. It looks like it deflected maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But given that angle, that's just really not covering Reason's post as well as he should be, being able to sneak in on the near side there.
Back to live action here, and the Devils win the face-off, dump it in, and go back and forth with the Stampede, trying to get some offensive going here. And while we're at it, we did solve a bit of a mystery. It was Jackson Fontaine. A little bit of a mystery. The sock monster may have found his shirt. He may have visited the table over here for the souvenirs, threw one on, and he's number 33 today. So there you go. Jackson Fontaine is number 33, not his normal number 10 today. I'm sure he'll get the required grief from the team, but he's out there fighting hard, and he's on the ice right now. He's frustrated, by the way. You can see him there, and he is working hard to get something going for him on his line. The fourth line is off the ice, and we go back to the first lines for, I think, both teams in this case. McCarg out to take the face off against Orr, and McCarg wins it, pulls it back. Amston's going to get to it first. And cycling down to McCarg. Which McCarg was? That was 17 McCarg. I got to remember the McCarg brothers again, because they're out on the same line. Heavy shot by Lachlan Freer there. That actually was really close. That was off his skate to knock it over to Eden. Eden's trying to get out. He just fluffs the shot. Coyle keeps it in. Shot in, not on target, but the offense continues for the town of Queens. As the puck gets pinned in on that board, that looks like it might have been a hand pass, but not called. It's on the other side. Eden trying to hold on to it, but he can't get it. Coyle knocks it in, and Apps telling Coyle what he thinks of him as he comes off the ice. Another big hit. That is a big hit, and whoa, and a linesman taken out. Well, this is an interesting sequence. Maybe we can see that one again. We'll see. We'll see if this gets pulled up or not. But the 2 minutes for McCarg again. I'm gonna guess that might be a charge. No, it's another elbow, I think. What'd you see?
I saw boarding myself. I'm sure you could fit a myriad of things on that call. That hit is number one not allowed in the sport of ice hockey. So yeah, he'll go take a seat for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, a general penalty for just poor contact there. And
2 minutes for you can't do that.
And we continue on. Devils, that's a pipe ringer, not quite on, but a good shot in. That was Matt Graham, not quite on target, but I think that's a terrible thing. He hit the pipe and it's not a shot on goal. So, but still a great effort. Sent in. Perver's going to track it down in the corner. Think of a sideshow with it, sending it around, but that's going to go out to neutral. And Matt's got to go track down the puck behind the goal line. Full change for just about everybody else. Dallimore out there for the Devils along with Orr. Looks like they're going to really take a charge at it here. Minute 22 on the man advantage. Bull with it. Cycling around, looking against what is kind of a standard box there, but they turn it right around. Didn't probe that very much. That's Reason lost the puck, has no idea where it is. That almost went in. Just a very lackadaisical effort by the goalie there. Not knowing what's going on, came off the moorings, but play continues. And Eden sends it back to Orr. Orr's going to look down for a slot pass, doesn't get it there. Eden with a shot, too high, comes in behind, is still behind the net. They continue to fight here, 5-on-4. Nichols passes it back to Eden, across to Apps. True gets a stick on it, and that flies up and out with 28 seconds. Outside of the goaltender error back there, and remember it is 3-1 right now. Need of a goal, and pretty good effort for the offense to try to get one. There were 3 good opportunities, 2 shots, and unfortunately no goal yet, but it feels like one's coming the way that they are taking their opportunities here. It really comes down to that line being out on the ice right now. It's
really good looks for the Devils, and especially Orr and Apps and Eden. They're all having really good shots on goal here. But like we say, you got to finish at some point, especially you're down 2. They're developing a chance again.
Yeah, it looked like, and Nichols is playing a good deal of quarterback back there on the right side, waiting to get that pass in and making sure it stays in. That's been a nice presence to see so far this afternoon. That's another rough call, but turns out you got to hit somebody to get a penalty, and that is offside, so that's why it was left alone. Turned over a couple of times. And a shot in, that almost wasn't seen. And the Stampede having themselves a good opportunity here. Now it is back to 5-on-5. Long pass ahead, trying to get to Eden. I think that was called for, we're going to call icing here. Alex, I think that was icing. There was one of the linesmen was pointing directly to the bench, so I'm guessing that they're saying stay on the bench there, sir.
Does look like icing, and the Devils just post this power play, looking to get something going again. Like we say, they're down 2 goals at the moment. Got to not become down on your own end to score goals, of course.
That was Risky Jones with that shot back there. That the team of hyphens in SkyCity, so it's We'll get there eventually, probably by the end of Sunday is the way it usually goes. Brown chasing that down in the corner. Carson Pratt with it for just a moment. Oh, no, Pratt's over on this one. I think I'm going to call this the hyphenated line because I think there's at least two of them. Pratt with it. Sends it across. Reason tips it up in the air, stays in the zone. This is an extended period for Queenstown offense here. Coyle misses it. That goes out to neutral. Past Freer. Graham tries to get it in the zone, but he can't. He's onside here. Makes the hit. Playing hockey all by himself, looking for a teammate to help him out. Dallimore trying to hold on to the puck. Can't do it. That's sent all the way around. Freer's going to clear out to neutral. And held by tap-in as Freer couldn't hold it up against the dasher and back out to neutral. Devils looking to get something done here. Shot in by Dallimore, kick to the side, into the corner. Big hit comes up. Amston trying to get a hold of the puck, but he just took most of the brunt of that shot. Out in the slot, deflection. Syshow not able to finish that one. Had a little bit of a spot, but couldn't quite hit it. Stays in the zone. Look for a couple of changes here by the Devils, but they do get it to neutral. Dodwell throws it back in, and Brooks has to stop it behind the net for the Stampede as a flurry of action here for the Devils. Bounced off the dasher, and Tappan's going to go collect that. And we'll see if the Devils can get something going here with 11 and a half minutes to go in this game, or in regulation, let's say. Tappan with it again, and the forecheck jumping for the Stampede as they've decided that is the strategy that they're going to play in the third period. High press and cycle.
Seems to be the way to get to the Devils. We say it was their kryptonite last season. It seems to be working again here in the third.
Harrison with a wrister. His shot was obstructed. Stick lifted, and that comes all the way back out. That should not be an icing under any circumstance. I think it was deflected, but it didn't even get to the goal line. Devils trying to hold on to it and do something with it. Pass into the slot. Guess who that was, number 33. Now Brown loses it outside. That was Jackson Fontaine. Tried to get something going, but couldn't. Flipped up. Fontaine looks at it, tries to get it to stay in. Can't. Back out to neutral. Harrison sweeps it in, and the Stampede go for a change. Nichols with it behind the net. He is assaulted by the forecheck. All five Stampede in and just pushing. They have no assumptions that the Red Devils will get the puck out, and right now they probably are making the right call. Van Sickle with the clearance. Tipped in and reset for the Stampede. That's going to go out to neutral again. A big hit there. Carson Pratt getting a little extra on Monk. And offsides, Fontaine brings it in. I think Carey jumped the line.
We're getting a slashing call here.
Oh, excellent. So, or who is it? Was it on Monk?
Monk.
Yep, it is Monk. I actually didn't see Monk actually take a slash here, so that's a bit of a surprise and a shocker, actually.
You were talking about it earlier, Matt. We wanted to see the Devils play a disciplined game and kind of not really living up to that in the third period. We've been really north-south. We've been not so much on the puck and just not building anything.
And the Stampede hold on to it. Amston at the point. He's going to look and walk it in. Shot in on Reason. He couldn't glove it. Luckily pushed aside just enough. Out to Burns. Burns on the blue line. Out to Amston. Amston's going to walk it in again. Or taking a good walk out at him to make sure that it was a long shot, and that helped Reason quite a bit. Glove it and stop play.
It's a nice save from Reason there. He has to lean to his right around the screen right in front of him and make the save to the left. Gets the glove in the way and stops play. Yeah, Devils are going to need to kill hard for the next minute and 42 seconds if they want to have a chance in this game.
Yeah, very smart play by the goalie. McCarr gets it to Amston, and Amston cycles it to the corner this time. Chased down by Orr. Orr trying to annoy Amston with a pretty open shot and a goal. A 1-3 with a player out of position there, and the Devils get burned on the power play. Score now, 4-1, SkyCity Stampede.
This comes from that penalty taken by Monk that you got to say doesn't have to be taken. You have possession of the puck in the neutral zone and take a slashing call. You know, you don't need to do that. And instead, the Devils go down 4-1 with just under 10 minutes to play in this one. You got to feel like that one may have iced it.
Yeah, 3 goals from a very quick sequence here. We'll see the replay as it moves around. Amston walks that in and has a big area to shoot at. So back out to live actions, 5-on-5. Carson Pratt taking one off neutral. And Nichols upended. Well, that's not a trip, apparently. And he's lost his stick. That's almost out to neutral. Van Sickle's going to skate in on Reason in order to stop that. So that's why it was held there for a moment. And the lumber is picked up for Nichols. Fisher Ice Hockey, sponsor of the 2022 Red Devils. Thank you, Fisher Ice Hockey, for your excellent equipment. We appreciate it. Now this is going out to neutral for some reason. Interference call. That's a late call. Carson Pratt getting a call for interference. Not sure why that was such a long one to call there.
It looked like that all stemmed from Nichols getting run over behind the net. He got run over, then his stick got kicked away shortly after. This call may be based on the kicking the stick away from him.
Okay, yeah, because it looked like an interference call, but he wasn't playing the man, but that does make sense because you can't kick an opponent's stick away when they're trying to play it, because that's, well, like anything else, that's just unsporting, right? So 2 minutes for the power play, and Apps, Brown, and the Eden, or exactly who you'd expect to be out there for the Devils. Well, now there's an interesting one. There's 2 on the board, so no, it's just 1. Okay, so it was right. It's 2 minutes for interference for kicking Nichols' stick, and I'd say this is a must-have.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to have this one if you're the Devils.
So there's no trapezoid in the NZIHL, so that was playable by Reason. In case any North American viewers looked at that and said, hey, he's really out in the corner there. They are allowed to do that. Passed around, and Orr with it back to Lowe. Kept in the zone. Orr chasing on the forecheck. And that's sent all the way down. Brown's going to collect that. Dallimore comes out for the 5th player for the Devils, and a modified first line looks to get something on the board. Long pass across the way. Dallimore with a lot of speed through, couldn't do anything with it, ends up in the corner, passes, then another pass back. Then that is shoved out of the zone by the Stampede. Brown to collect. Another one where Reason gives it up to the offense right out in front. A shot. Well, I don't think that was a shot, but he's looking around like it was.
No, yeah, he had no idea where that puck ended up when it was right in front of him.
None whatsoever. Devils break out. Eden takes it across the line. He's going to take a shot here. Low and through. Is it going to get out? No, not quite. Dallimore holds it in. Sysho with it behind the net, looking for a pass. He gets it back to Dallimore. Dallimore to the point, to Eden. Tapin, out, back to Tapin. Tapin again. Apps calling for it, but doesn't get it. And Sofer sends it out all the way down to Reason. He pushes it aside. Tapin collects. McCart's going to forecheck, but doesn't get a chance, and that gets brought into Eden. 2-on-4. That's held in. That's a great little play of stick work there. And tapping across. Graham with a big wind-up from that distance and got nothing on it because there was a body in front. Tappan's going to chase this down. McCart's going to get the hit in on Tappan. That was predictable as anything, and the physical play has definitely picked up. If compared to the first period, we are starting to see some hits here in Christchurch. That puck gets deflected up by the defense into the netting, and a face-off coming. So I've got, do I have that right? It's 1:30 left on that clock.
Double minor, perhaps.
It must have been a double minor that wasn't listed. They didn't put it up as 4. Because I was waiting for that to come out, and Well, so there's a discussion up here. Another discussion, not sure what this one's about. This might be rink maintenance, not sure. But the board's broken.
Oh yeah, we see some guys with NZIHL jackets down there holding a piece of wood from the boards.
Okay, so the board itself is broken, not the scoreboard. You're right on the double minor, but there's some repairs that need to occur in order to continue play here. So let's see what's going on here before we pull away, but it looks like some repairs at the old Alpine Ice to make sure that things are okay. Might have been a dasher. It's hard to see. It looks like the glass came out of the dasher, best I can tell, so they've got to push it back in. They've got, looks like the management's there, everybody's ready to go, and knocked back in. We'll see if they're happy with it here in just a minute. All right, so going back to the game, let's recap just a little bit here. The remaining scenario for the Devils, they are on the power play for another 90 seconds. In that 90 seconds, as we've been saying, this power play needs to put something on the board in order to get this close. We're getting down to a point in time where you start to worry about there just really isn't enough to come back from a 3-goal lead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some more chances need to be taken, right?
Yeah, they're looking okay on this power play, but like you say, they really need something here. If they can score and have just over 5 minutes to play, 2 goals down, you're in with a shot. If you have 5 minutes to play, still down 3, it's all but over at that point. So the Red Devils really need to get something cooking here. They have had their looks, like we've said, but just not that finishing on the power play that you'd expect for goals to go in.
It's an interesting conversation happening between Perver, Freer, and the referee talking about the scenario for that glass over there. I don't even know whether they can continue on this. I mean, I would hate to think that the game would be suspended. We're a little late in this one to do anything, but we'll wait to hear what happens. Now it looks like they are going to continue on here. Face-off coming in the offensive zone. So, you know, I don't want to shortchange the Stampede here. What they've done is exactly what they needed to do in this third period. They were essentially outplayed in the first 2 periods, but didn't give up a lead so much as, you know, they made it 1-1. But in 10 minutes, they managed to score 3 goals. They put offensive pressure on. They've managed to forecheck. And now, while they're dealing with a penalty here, they are adeptly holding the Devils at an arm's length.
Yeah, Stampede have played a good game here in the third. They've executed the anti-Red Devils game strategy almost perfectly, where you put pressure on the zone clear, you play high, and you get shots on goal, and it's worked really well for them. They've scored 3 quickly, and now they're holding a pretty comfortable lead with a few minutes to go.
Matheson Graham taking it up the left side, trying to get something started here. Big hit. Nichols is going to collect, but the nothing doing as far as an opportunity. That's sent right back in. I think that was Soffer for that. Nichols collects the puck. He looks a little bit slower as he's been hit a couple of times this afternoon, but very gently takes it out of his own zone. And Jacob Carey trying to do what he can do to get some speed going on this puck and get something done. Chris Eden misses that one in his glove, easy to do, and that goes back out to through neutral all the way back. Guys, you're on the same team, and we're trying to get an offensive opportunity going. Just 10 seconds to go on this power play now. Trying to get something before it expires and get something structured here. Nichols with it. He's lumbering through neutral. Gets up to Eden. Alex, I'd have to say the Red Devils seem to be a little slower in this third period. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd agree. I've seen it especially from the Delamore line a couple of times. Just being a bit flat-footed when you're on the puck isn't going to bode well for getting that speed into the offensive zone to really create incisive chances.
Finally, a hot wrister off of Eden's stick goes in at Brooks. Brooks sees it all the way, gloves it at about crossbar height, and holds on to it, making sure that nothing goes wrong there. Just also want to make sure we call out Access Solutions Scaffolding, Performance Plus Physio, Beckford Sports, Go Media, and South Island Media. Thank you all for helping us with the broadcast today. That shot goes in and is deflected. Hopkins hits it in. It's off Freer, and that ends up in the net behind Brooks, so another face-off coming. Just under 5 minutes to go here. Devils looking for a desperate goal. Shot in, that was actually pretty close. Brooks didn't see it, went off his pads, and that's gonna come bounding all the way back to Reason. Turns it over to Hopkins, and Hopkins looks to get it out. Can't do it there, low with it. Sorry, that was Monk trying to get that out. I will get these numbers right eventually. Tough to read them off the small black letters, but that's my problem, not yours. You're just enjoying the afternoon here. Off to Fontaine. No, he doesn't see the puck, so that bounces out to Monk. Off Fontaine, no icing here. He's gonna chase that down. Fontaine's first there, but Brooks plays it around. Yes, that was held in and goes back around to the corner. Cycles to the left point here. Tappan's got it. He's going to send one through. Doesn't get a deflection. SkyCity looking for something to tip up in the above Brooks, but can't do it. Can't get it off the ice. There's a high shot. That one floated a bit. Brooks saw it, saucered in, and gloved down. So not sure if I see a penalty coming here, but I think so. Yes, indeed. There was a call. Not sure what it was, but I'm guessing, given that it's Burns, it's probably an what'd you see?
I didn't see anything, but the referee just signaled slash in there. So maybe on the player sliding right by him, going to the net, just takes the slash. 3 minutes 30 to go. Devils back on the power play. But like we say, they're down 3 goals with 3 minutes to play. You got to score fast if you want to have any sniff.
Yeah. The offensive opportunities that have been, just low quality, they're just not being given up by the Stampede. One of their long-held skill sets is making sure that the opponents don't get good opportunities. And thus far, the third period, that is exactly what the Stampede have done with a 3-goal lead. Minimize the opportunity. Jacob Carey coming up through the left, looking to skate hard, but everybody's up to him. They put 2 men on him every time and slow him up. Turned around, and we're looking for the Eden Orr line again, and Apps to try to get something done here. Orr looking for a shot, trying to do things himself, gets behind the cage, rolled around. Eden holds it on the zone, stays in. Brown gives it up, and Eden cycles. They're trying to get a quality shot here for the power play, and so far nothing too tricky, just mostly shots that Brooks is seeing all the way in. Van Sickle out there to try to break things up, and he almost does. Held at the blue line, passed around. Graham had an opportunity there, but couldn't get anything on it immediately, and he holds it at the sideboard on the left side out to Brown. Brown at the point. Brown goes all the way across to Eden, cross ice, shot. That gets through Brooks, but nobody home to knock it in. Graham with it, out to Brown at the point. Brown loses it, held in for a moment, then it's out to neutral. And Van Sickle with a breakaway on it. He misses the crossbar. Bounces funny, but a very, very good opportunity for Van Sickle to score on the shorthanded. SkyCity knocks it all the way in, looks for a change. He's off the ice. One up on the forecheck. It's turned over. That's Dallimore with it. Dallimore to Fontaine. Fontaine can't get around to the goal. We're down to 80 seconds left. Harrison holds on to it, pushes his way in, gets hit, but causes a lot of time to come off the clock. And the Devils looking for Ruski Jones to give it up. He does, but he gets it to Harrison, off to Soffer. Soffer to Harrison. Harrison takes a shot. That is up and over. I think that was to the net and back in. And the frustration on the side of the Devils showing itself.
Yeah, that was
very
good work.
apparent.
Good work from the Stampede there on the penalty kill. They were just giving the Red Devils the perimeter. More than happy for them to just keep working the outside, and the Devils were just, you know, just taking soft shots from the outside, not really threatening, and we see it reflected on the scoreboard here. Yeah. Stampede leading 4-1 with just under a minute to play.
And I think the frustration is that the Red Devils, I think they know they can play with these guys, but they just haven't in the third period. So something to take into tomorrow. Something, I think we can concede that today is not going to happen for them. 37 seconds to go. McCart doing his best to forecheck, and he's managing to hold it up. Kind of a microcosm of the whole game there. The Red Devils have played 2 very good periods, and they've done a great job so far with creating offensive opportunities you might not have seen in years prior. So there's some very big positives here. But the Stampede have come in with 2 wins under their belt, beating the Phoenix Thunder. They're going to get a third today. And the reality is they know how to win. And that was a clinic in the third period of how to win a hockey game that was close. And you're going to just turn it into a, you're not going anywhere with this. We're going to score a couple of goals. We're going to throw it on net and then lock it down. Defensive lockdown and play with a serious forecheck, getting just taking away all the opportunities that the Devils had in the third.
Yeah, you ask anyone in the league, the Stampede are the team to beat at the moment. And the Devils, like we said, they played with them for the better part of 2.5 periods this afternoon. They played a pretty solid game, but pretty solid isn't going to cut it against a team of the Stampede's caliber, and that showed at the start of the third period. The Devils reverting to a bit of their old style a little bit, giving away pucks in their own end, letting free shots on goal, and allowing a couple of cheap ones. Red Devils were their own undoing today. You got to give full credit to the Stampede. They played exactly the style they needed to beat this Red Devils team, and they knew it. They get the job done here 4-1, but the Red Devils have another chance tomorrow to prove that it wasn't a fluke, that they played them tight the whole game.
Yeah, I think the game tomorrow is going to be very telling as to how this season goes. It's not so much that the 3 of the 4 goals could be considered flukes.
Yeah.
And that, to me, tells me that there's more to this story than just the scoreline that happened today. So I'm very optimistic with that for the Red Devils. But I do have to say that the Stampede are they're looking like a very professional team out there. So we're going to go to a couple of replays here and then call it a day. We'll see you. We'll be seeing you tomorrow at the same time on the stream, Alex. 4:30 New Zealand time. So we'll see everybody around the world joining us again on YouTube. So we'll just go ahead and say goodbye to you at this point. Everybody, see you tomorrow, and we'll catch another game of the Red Devils and SkyCity Stampede on Sunday. Thank you, everybody.